Morning all. I know this has been a very busy and sort of disorganized term and that you're coming up to an exam. I normally would do this in lesson, but of course we don't have many lessons or face-to-face time this term. So I'm just doing this to sort of try and prepare you a bit extra, I guess, for the upcoming Secure Software Architecture exam. I'm just going to basically scroll through the PDF, have a look at it, and see what sort of tips I can sort of, give you along the way. The beginning is multiple choice questions. Um, section one is 20 marks, multiple choice, and some of these I can't really give you too many tips without giving you the question itself. What can I give you here? There's something about sanitation. Um, Something about passwords, 2FA. Let's see what else is there. Obviously, I'm jumping over some of them because I really can't. I can't give them to you without giving away the question. There's a discussion of secure HTTP, I guess you would say. Let's see. No, can't say anything about that. There's a question on code review. And a question on sandboxing. And that's about all I can really give you for that section, which I know isn't much, but it's very hard to give information about multiple choice questions. Okay, section two, these are the multi-answer questions. It's worth 18 marks, and there's 3 correct answers for each question, so that may have changed a little bit. And it's the situation where what a wrong answer is -1, a correct answer is +1, max of 3 marks for the question. Let's see. Generic question about secure design principles, I guess you would say. Question about tools. Something I can't mention because it will give it away. Just generically in the exam, there's stuff in multiple sections about defensive programming and obviously techniques you would use to minimize security issues. There's a fill in the gaps sort of question. There's a match the list type question as well. A couple of those, and then we get into section 3. This is the extended responses, and that's worth 20 marks. What I've done is I've given you basically what you'll see. This is all in exam.net, and I don't know what you can remember, but basically in exam.net, I can give you an approximation of the number of words you would expect. So in the HSC, they will actually let you know how many words they sort of expect you to answer. That doesn't mean that's the right number of words. It just means they think that if you're concise, you'll be able to express a full value answer in that many words. The reason that's there is because I think in the HSC they used to put lines on a page which sort of gave you a guide of how much you should write for an answer. So those approximate words, I mean, take them with a grain of salt. I think I've said to you before, and I'll say it again. If you absolutely know the answer, just write the answer. You don't need to beat about the bush. If you aren't sure of the answer, you actually can waffle a little bit and hope that you just hit on the answer. So it may be that you go a little under those words or over those words. It's really hard, but basically, yeah, there'll be an estimation of how many words you need to sort of accurately answer the question. First one, I can't give you much on. The second one, there'll be a very short Python script, only a few lines long, and you need to discuss it. I can't say much more than that. Next one. What can I tell you about the next one? Okay, so this one, I can't give you the term that the question asks for, but it's about timing. Yeah, it's about timing and unpredictable results. So that's all I can really say on that one. There's an SQL injection question. There you go. That's a pretty good tip. There's a question about, what can I say here? There's a couple of questions about application security testing, using different words. Pardon me. Question on security audits, and that's it. It's actually, I think, a short-ish test, so if you finish a bit early, don't panic. That's okay. I didn't want this to be too long. Pardon me. Particularly considering the poor preparation time we've had. The only other thing that I would remind you guys is that even though this test is a little short, remember that we need to be thorough because in your preparation in some ways because you're preparing for the HSC, not just for this exam. So that's really all the tips I've got. Not that much for you. I wish you all well for the exam. I may not be in the exam room at the same time. I think Mr. Lee might be running the exam. I'm not sure. But we'll, either way, I'm sure it'll run smoothly. Make sure you have your, obviously the SEB, the Safe Exam Browser installed. If you've changed computer or something like that, let me know prior and we'll organize a computer for you. Good luck to you all, and I'll see you next week.